Day 49, How I Finally Drove in America, Part 1. If you listen to my story, you knew that I just got to Providence, Rhode Island, a foreign kid in a foreign city. I didn't know anybody, and the only reason I went there was really because of the job, a job that offered me a legal visa. And that was the only reason. So I got there, my brother took me there, and he left me there by himself because he had to go back to New York. My manager got to know me and he knew that I had a car, but I didn't have a driving license. I still had to go to work. We found an apartment, but the apartment was 30 minutes away from my workplace. And I would have to rely on public transportation. My work schedule at the time was a kind of like 10:30 to 8:30 shift. So it was no problem for me to take buses to go to work, but by the time 8:30 it was too late. There will be no services. I actually mapped it out, going to work from my apartment to my job. It actually took me 2 hours one way to get there. Now I look back, 2 hours one way, that's crazy. But really at the time for me it was fine because I didn't know any better. Time was not really an issue for me. So I got up at 7:30, I walked to the bus station, waited, transfer 2 buses, get to work. No problem. Coming home would be a problem because by then everything stopped. So my manager asked me to take taxi and everything will be reimbursed. So everything was fine. The whole goal though was to get my driving license so I don't have to rely on taking public transportation or taking taxi. Somehow I don't remember what happened now. I somehow couldn't take the road test in Rhode Island. And guess what happened? I think you know if you've been following my story. Jim, the guy that been helping me all this journey, we talked and he told me that, gee, why don't you come back to Harrisburg and you take the test here since you were using my address all this time, so it's fine. I mean, I can help you. So I bought a ticket of Amtrak from Providence to Harrisburg. I think that was about $200, $220, because it was really the 2-3 days. It was only 2-3 days notification. So the tickets was the prices of the ticket was kind of high. But again, that's the only option. So I bought the ticket. I got there. Supposedly, I was going to practice driving before the test. And Jim said it should be pretty straightforward. I mean, everybody can pass the test. So I went to he used his car, and he's like, okay, just start the car. And I look at him, and he looks at me and said, what are you waiting for? How do you do it? I said, put the key in the car. And now I was a 22 years old young man. So again, you have to look at from a foreigner standpoint. Most foreigner never really drive the car. Unlike American, you guys probably start driving when you are 14 years old, 15 years old. By the time you hit 22, you are an expert, right? For us, the foreigner, not really. We never really had a opportunity or luxury to drive a car. So somehow we changed the gear, reverse, go, and then we were driving in. He was pretty close to the highway. I got to the highway and I panicked. I got panicked and I stopped. And he was like, gee, why are you stopping? I said, I don't know how to move the car. I was like, so somehow the car, I guess someone was honking me. I have no idea. I was so panicked. It's so funny. So we managed to put the car back to his house. And now he realized that what he was dealing with, he just didn't think that I had absolutely no idea how to drive. So we went to a parking lot, an empty parking lot. So he started showing me how to drive. He's like a beginner, like zero experience. And we did. So we were driving for like a good few hours. I felt pretty comfortable. And then he asked me to drive again outside. You know, again, I was kind of like really pushing it. And I was driving outside. And that's pretty much the whole Saturday. I think 4 or 5 hours driving. And I had to go back to Providence because on Sunday, because I had to work on Monday. On the way back to Providence, I felt comfortable. And we also signed up for the road test the following Saturday. So I have 5. So I told Jim that, Jim, I'm going to see you Saturday, and that's pretty much, I'm going to pass the test and move on with my life. I said, yeah, actually, you should be fine. Now we've been driving here and there, so we should be fine. So I'm going to tell you if I pass the test or if I fail the test tomorrow. Until then, thanks for following. Drop the comment if you want, and we'll go from there. See you later. Have a good night. Bye.